Lancelot. And I like how Apbr are acknowledging the Lancelot problem, that out of all the assassins, he's the best for this current metagame. Put him in whichever version of the map and Lancelot will shine. So they take him out. So now Apbr is going to be thinking about the Baksha, excuse me. First pick for Omega later on.
And this is one of the more rarer 1-1 bans that you would see coming in from blue side. A very interesting ban here coming in from Coach Wura. And now, Coach Jeff, what are you going to reply to this? There are still a lot of options here for the first pick. You still have the Zushin, which will be a very nice hero to have, or even the Baksha in Dangerous Grass.
Yeah, but they also had to respect the Angela, even though it did not necessarily win a game yesterday when it was fielded out by Team Falcons. You still have to take it
Here
out.
you go.
So there goes the Jushin first pick for Smart Omega. That leaves... There's still a Baksha.
Yeah. I was actually surprised that Omega didn't first pick it. However, there is that theory that Jushin would be okay with Dangerous Grass, considering that she can safely check the bushes. But then at the same time, all of the burst assassins, if ever they end up with them, all have great gap closers that if Apbr ends up with a unique pick with a good dash and good burst, they might have to watch out for that.
You mean Yi Sun-shin?
Yeah, like Yi Sun-shin as well. But for Apbr, let's see what they end up prioritizing here. Still a new draft setup, so we don't... It's hard now to think about what teams are really thinking about.
The Yi Sun-shin is still open to take if you're Apbr, and looks like they're going to go for the safer route, going for the Baksha instead, and the Lapu Lapu. It's quite interesting to take note as well that yesterday there was an intense fixation on early Lapu Lapu picks up on the red sides as well. And now for Omega, they're going to take the Fredrin with the Zushin, and this got to be the Arlok, bro.
So they they picked the Khalid instead.
That's comfort, bro.
That's comfort.
Could this be the Farsa for Apbr?
Yeah, I'd actually like to see them pick up their pick now for Aqua. Okay, so they're gonna most likely pair up the Kimi with the Baksha, center of the map. So you're gonna have one potential carry already. So for Apbr, they have the potential swing of going into a tanky fighter jungler, and then they'll just have two carries playing around the gold in the mid. They can go triple carry, but that might be a little bit too greedy. I'd like to see them a little bit more conservative with it, considering that they are up against a Khalid and a Fredrin, which, yes, even though it is Dangerous Grass, there's still a good chance that you're just gonna get run over by two dudes who are not afraid to invade your jungle.
That's true.
And there is a Claude. Oh, never mind.
See,
honestly, just take out the carry too at this point. You already took out the Claude, you have red 4, and you are yet to secure your marksman. I feel like Omega, if you want to play it safe, you got to take out the carry too.
Yeah, one of the signs here if Omega's going to pick up something different is if they ban out a Farsa, then Apbr has to consider the fact that the Bruno might pop up later for Neski as well. And considering that there's not a lot of heroes that, well, other than the presence of the Baksha, then maybe Omega would also want to consider still picking up a Harith for Nets.
Oh, it's banned though.
Oh, yeah, it was banned. Sorry about that.
But there are other options. I feel like at this point, if the Granger's taken away as well, the Moskov becomes a hot commodity for both teams here. Just making sure that you have that, I would say, late game global presence on your marksman. I feel like right now Gold Lane is being severely limited here.
It is.
Somebody has to take the carry out. Like, just take it out, man. Like, any team would love to have that hero, and obviously Apbr has red 4 advantage. Both of them still don't have their gold laners. I don't see any Ruby gold lanes happening here.
Probably not. But the Fancy Arlot instead still would pair up really well on the EXP together with the Fredrin in this lineup.
Yeah.
So
even the Khalid.
If they don't take out the carry.
There you go.
I mean, with the playstyle of Omega right now, they're going to be a slow front to back. Moskov should be okay.
Yeah, Moskov
can be the carry. So either of those two, I feel like, would be great for them. And then I'm still thinking if this Baksha might just end up going roam or jungle. Oh, there is the Moskov.
There you go.
For Shizo. Yeah, I think they're holding on to the Baksha flex. There's a chance we might already be seeing the jungler for Apbr, and this roamer is going to be something different.
Yeah.
Maybe Hellcurt Gold. I don't know. Bring it back, Nets.
But other than Netsky, though, EXP lane options, there's still a CC?
Yeah. The CC looks amazing
James.
against the Moskov in the area and the Kimmy as well.
If you want to run them down, really, especially team fighting wise, I think a glue would be okay.
Yeah, that too.
Although the laning matchup might not be as clear cut for him, and the Lapu Lapu's presence early on might be, well, a bit overwhelming for Omega while James is still catching up. So CC could be the safe one.
Yeah. And now the question remains, what do you take in the gold lane? You're going to go back to the good old carry?
Whoa.
No. Yep, it's going to be a carry plus
Wait,
a show,
Is it?
which confirms that it's an XP lane Khalid.
Yeah.
Goddamn, we're back into Khalid flex meta.
Or it could be an XP lane Cho.
Oh.
Because he can just fast clear with Concussive Blast on him
Yeah.
and then just get out of lane.
It's been a while, you know. I think the last time that I see Cho XP lane was the season before M7 or M6 rather.
Yeah.
M6.
And-
Yes.
This is the season before M7.
This is the
So
season
you're still
before.
correct with that.
I'm still correct with that.
Yeah.
That's the secret.
Doesn't this like
I'm
work?
always correct.
Oh my goodness.
All right, go for
Okay,
it.
fine. But doesn't that like work so well with Dangerous Grass? If like
It's
the
Cho.
trolls just always
Roaming
hidden
around.
and
Exactly.
finding targets. So that's gonna be okay.
All right, what do you get if you're AP Brent? It's going to be a Khalid XP lane, and you're going to go for the Grok in the Dangerous Grass in the hands of X-Nova. I would say Chaknu Jr. at this point. You know, he looks like the second coming of the Mamba.
Yeah, it is gonna be an XP lane Khalid.
XP lane Khalid versus Lapu Lapu. I haven't seen this matchup for a while, but I feel like Lapu Lapu still has the advantage in terms of a level 4 power spike. But levels 1 to 2, there's no way to cancel the quicksand guard.
We're really just gonna have to see how AP Brenner are gonna be rotating. Whether or not they're gonna try to see if they can play around the EXP lane instead of around playing the gold. So you can shut down the Lapu Lapu early and then you start invading and controlling that part of the map. The lineup waiting for Omega leading, it looks good. Mainly because they can just run them down. But the fact that AP Bren has 2 carries, if Omega can't end this quick, this does not look good for them in the late game. Not at all.
The global presence coming in from that Moscow would kick in by late. And we're going to see that if that's going to happen here in game number 1. Welcome to the first game of this best of 3 series between AP Bren and Omega. This is our first series of our Super Fan Saturday.
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
And there you go, the classic Grok start, delaying all 3 waves. I wonder how that would play out with the new vision mechanics.
Yeah. You can't even go for those fast rotations as much.
Yeah, I appreciate the map zoom in. So quick clears in the center of the map with James already cutting. Now he's gonna have the lead. All right, so immediate cut start for Omega, which I approve of.
Yep, and this is something that we are seeing more common now in the XP lane. I think yesterday the Benedetta did that too in the hands of Trimar of TNC, and now we're gonna see that coming in from James here on this Khalid.
Yeah.
Still a very early part of the game. We are yet to see a lot of aggressive maneuvers from both teams.
Which I'm liking from AP Bren so far because it does feel like they're also acknowledging their power spikes and not trying to put themselves in a position where Omega could really snowball. Because Smart Omega, based on their rotations, it feels like they really want to look for those early kills, those early rotations you see from James.
Yeah.
But since AP Bren don't put themselves out there, you can't do anything.
Okay, so the rotation was James fast clear EXP, go up to Litho to help, go back down to EXP, hold it, and then wait for Super Yoshi to get closer to the minion so that he gets just a little bit more from the minion.
And now a big rotation here down XP lane. Both junglers will see each other eye to eye. It's going to be a little fight here for the scroll. And it seems that Ryzen will be able to secure it for himself.
Yeah.
And both XP laners will be hitting for. No! Lord JM goes in first.
Such tanky heroes, but Ryzen in a very dangerous spot. A flicker from Lord JM to finish off the kill. 3-man
James?
knockup, but Aqua, he somehow gets away from this. Purify already used by Haji, and Super Yoshi, he too will survive after that.
Yeah, super unfortunate timing because Omega's rotations were already perfect. Super Yoshi was going to hit level 4, or already did hit level 4 before X-Nova. So that just shows the lead of Super Yoshi in terms of rotating in the map and getting EXP. But then Ryzen just a little bit too deep down in that lane. AP Bren, good acknowledgement of the situation and deciding to jump on him right away to make sure they can secure that kill. Good secure by Lord JM, committing the flicker as well.
And at the moment Lord JM got that level 4, he just went in with the bravest fighter. Even if he did burn a flicker, that did reward Omega a bit of freedom around his turtle. But Omega already going in for the first turtle of the game. And as you can see, Lord JM struggling to find his way back around that turtle pit. And the Grok still has his access to his tectonic charge.
Okay, Super Yoshi revealing so much. Doesn't use the Way of the Dragon just yet. And instead, it's going to be the tech charge committed right here. Raven Spider doesn't land. And Ryzen, all the while that was happening, secures the objective. But Shizu joining the fight. Finds the kill on Haji. X-Nova trying to survive. Still gets some shield. And actually lives.
1-for-1 trade up there. But it seems the turtle will be going to the hands of Omega. And because of that extra movement speed, he's going to be able to go back. And Lord JM gets bursted down. It's clear that Omega has some sort of lead right now.
Yeah, and because of that pick, Omega 100% won that sequence. They get the turtle. Neski gets progress with his gold by getting a lot through the tower shielding and then going back down to Lord JM getting picked. He should not have gotten picked off there because now this pushes the lead and this pushes the envelope for Omega. They're now going to be committing topside to see if they can get Neski out of lane quick.
Yeah, Shizuka has to be careful with this. He doesn't have the SOD, but fortunately Omega will not really dive him under the turret, but still that's a lead in their hands right now.
They're still playing around that 1k gold lead and gonna rotate here in the mid lane. About to at least get some plating off, but I feel like Aqua will have enough wave clear to defend or fend off Omega as the turtle, no, the orange pit is being defended as well by the side of Apbr. I feel like even if Omega has a lead here, you can't really feel it that much because they're defending their map so well.
Yeah, and feels bad moment for everyone who wants to duel up against a Khalid. He still has quicksand guard. Anything you toss at him, it's like, all right, sure, let's go one more round.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the difference maker for the Khalid in the EXP lane. His ability to just constantly keep going back.
Yep, and looking at the items with that Fury Hammer, he's able to deal a bit of respectable damage as well, but Shizo might be in trouble here.
Oh, Ryzen actually goes for X-Nova instead. Super Yoshi doesn't commit the Way of the Dragon. Still, they just tried to poke him down to half HP. Not really going for the full commit whatsoever.
And now the next turtle will be about to spawn. And looks like they're going to go for this Grok.
Oh yeah, so they just waited a bit to actually commit.
Wow.
But it might bite them in the back because it is now Apbr and their counter engage, which got the advantage. Taking down Ryzen, might be Haji next, but he's able to reposition and get out of danger. James fighting back though, but still they lost one member already.
And turtle is already being started here by James Pax. Omega has a clear shot here to try and steal it away, but looks like without the retribution, that's going to be Apbr securing the second turtle of the game as we go back to the laning phase.
Yeah, the sad thing about that is Omega looks like they were just a bunch of dudes crumping, twerking, doing everything. They did so many things leading up to that, while X-Nova literally said, I press ultimate, and then Apbr wins that whole sequence. So again, X-Nova just did a very simple thing, even taking away that gold.
Yeah, just press ultimate. That's how you play the Grok, man. And a lot of these Grok players, they fail to understand that sometimes hitting one guy is just as good as hitting three, you know?
Yeah.
And for Apbr, they're not afraid to pull that trigger if need be.
Maybe I'm just still wondering why they didn't decide to commit here earlier when they found X-Nova alone and it was just Shizo, and they decided to drag it all the way to the mid lane before they went for it. But there goes the tech charge, and now Omega knows that X-Nova doesn't have it.
Yep. Yeah. I hate that doesn't get refunded though. That the moment that you bump to a wall, that doesn't get refunded.
Well, I mean, gotta balance it out one way or the other. Oh no, Netsuke!
Oh, fortunately doesn't have the tech charge, but does Netsuke get to survive this? He will, and Super Yoshi actually forces the Purify through the Way of the Dragon.
No.
But these are 5 members of Smart Omega who are deciding to go in. Flicker Raging Sandstorm coming in from James, double knock-up through the Lantern Flare. Shizu is the first to fall, but Aqua too providing some help. Super Yoshi will try to survive this, gets to dash away to the Shunpo, but Netsuke still keeps going for everyone else. Aqua chasing after Super Yoshi, won't be successful in doing so, and that's 3 members down for Apbr.
Every time, every season, there's always that one play that make you go, Super Yoshi, how the hell are you alive? And I thought him committing that kick before that big team fight was a bit of a waste, but then it's because they wanted to really commit that fight. They knew James and the others were rotating up top. Without the Purify onto Shizo, James was able to Raging Sandstorm him in. He didn't hit it, but it forced Shizo to position himself in ways that Omega was closer to with the Moskov.
And now the turtle, final turtle of the game. AP Bren is holding it with X-Nova, leading the charge. Ryzen right under 3 people, but Omega has a clear advantage.
Oh,
and that's going to be Ryzen taking the turtle as well.
Okay, there's a conceal, but Super Yoshi doesn't need to kick anyone. X-Nova already down even before the fight began. And that's one member immediately who supposedly could be the front for AP Bren down. Now they get easy access to these turrets and these objectives as well.
A sudden turn of events here against AP Bren. Omega with a 2.4k gold lead. And it seems that they can't find a winning team fight. That was a 3v1 in the Lord pit, but Ryzen did the most Fredrin thing ever. First skill retribution, get that turtle and yeet out.
There was a time where we called him the S-tier monster. And Ryzen showing off why at one point there was a bit of a rivalry between him and Sensui in terms of who can do retribution battles better. Sensui's not here, but Ryzen definitely is. Looking at the items, not a leg place, just oh, there's going to be double blade armor, so it looks like it, if ever.
Yeah, that's the worst thing to see if you're a Kimmy, dude. Twilight, I mean, a Radiant armor plus a blade armor, you're basically immune to the Kimmy damage, or maybe not really immune until the Divine Glaive.
And I think one of the scariest things we saw there was that Netsuki was almost 2k ahead of Shizo. So we see it again and again, how Netsuki just quietly always farming up, so consistent in doing so, and he can be that reliable member. We actually saw a glimpse of it in the previous team fight up top already, where the damage that he was able to dish out was already enough to deal with the isolated members of AP Bren.
Well, for someone who talks mad trash outside of the game, or used to do mad trash outside of the game, he's a very silent farmer in game.
Yeah, he's so good at bullying in lane no matter the hero pick. Like, there are times where Netsuki's gonna end up in a mashup. It's like, oh, this is gonna be tough for insert hero name here. But then Netsuki suddenly wins the lane. It's like, bro, how do you do that? And that's how you can see it with how he carries himself. Especially when he was not in the Philippines, with just how he was.
Nespresso. That's Nespresso in the past, because he doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah, it's like one of those animes where you have that demon inside you. It is sometimes Nespresso just talks to him while he's playing in MPL Philippines, but it's like Tokyo Ghoul Season 3, whatever, dude.
or for modern audiences, Sakamoto Days.
Hey!
Sakamoto Days, and he retired?
Oh! Traction Pulse already thrown out by Aqua, but the Way of the Dragon will land on X-Nova, still has the flicker though, but Netsuki gets to finish up the kill! SOD will land too, but does Shizu decide to join this fight? He's still sort of behind. Flicker already committed a late Lord JM. He has to escape this, but the energy eruption! He gets to touch the Appraiser's Wrath, but not the Lantern Flare! And Haji will pick up the kill!
And that prolonged team fight is Omega's way of taking down this Lord too. There's no way that AP Bren contests this one.
And while all of that happened, Shizo was still farming! That's because that's how massive the gap is between him and Netsuki that he couldn't join that fight. Unfortunate right now for AP Bren, and yeah, they're really just gonna have to turtle it out, wait, see if they can get farm with Shizo and play via turnaround, because Omega, their rotations have been on point. That was the key to victory. They rotate so well and so fast that at some point, if you cannot find the trade in a big team fight, which AP Bren found, but then Omega found the trade, and then after that AP Bren couldn't trade that again, then Omega's just gonna run over you. That's the risk of playing up against a Kali, Cho, and a Fredrin. What we said earlier, they will just continue running into your formation and into your jungle.
Yeah, we just keep on burning those purifies as well. I feel like Aqua hasn't had a real break in this game. Here comes another Earthen Rampart coming in from X-Nova, trying to defend this mid lane and the purple buff as well, but I feel like it's going to be extremely hard to deny this away from Ryzen. And that's going to be a free purple buff stolen as well as the Lord marches up top side. Omega looking to get at least one inhibitor turret out of this push. But I feel like AP Bren, they have enough wave clear to deny that from happening.
Yeah, but the potential team fights and cleanups are something they should really avoid. Haji 2 on the Sky Piercer is going to be terrifying, especially considering that he has a really decent KDA on the Jushin so far, and the positionings that he's been showing us have been very precise. Now they might actually get to take down that one base turret you were talking about, but the Traction Pulse won't land. It will actually force Omega to somehow back off.
They're slow and steady right now for Omega. They don't need to force anything. They are not going to force the situation as well in mid, and they're just going to straight up retreat. So you see across the board, Radiant Armors, Blade Armors everywhere, especially for the side of Omega. You see a Blade Armor on the Baksha as well. Just waiting up there. Okay, Aqua now has the Glaive, the Blood Wings, but he just needs one more item for his damage to really be a big threat to the side of Omega, which is tough considering that time is running out for them. If they can get that one more magic item, the final one to really make Omega feel the burst of the Kimmy, then it should, at that point, that means Shizo also has items as well, and then they should be good to fight and be a little bit more aggressive.
Oh, speaking of fight, they find James.
Never mind.
And he gets bursted down.
Yeah. Immediately scratches his back too. He's like, goddamn dangerous bush got to me. And that's actually one of the best applications so far that we've seen in this game. That was a dangerous grass play coming in from the Grok.
He was the one in the bush, but he was the one who got ambushed right there. He couldn't do anything, and now it's AP Bren fighting against Omega. Bravest fighter, but the two-man knockoff. Lord JM gets picked off first, and Omega successfully defend their tier 1 turret in mid.
Oh man, if you're Lord JM, you would have been pissed with that timing coming in from Super Yoshi.
That's all I can say. Yoshi, how did you find that angle, man?
And he didn't even pull up the flicker.
It was straight up second skill, first skill, second skill, kick. Damn.
And you know what? At least Lord JM didn't burn the flicker too, but looks like this is going to be the Lord secured as well for Omega. I don't think, unless Shizo pulls up a Kelra here, maybe throw it now in a bit? No? Okay, then that's Lord secured for Omega.
Yeah.
I think they saw Super Yoshi holding up the front. So they probably, Shizo was like, you know what, I don't want to waste it. The Cho's probably going to block it anyway. If not, someone else is going to block it, so I'm not going to risk it.
Yeah, they were all lined up in that area. So either one of the three players of Haji, Yoshi, or James would have gotten the SOD.
They even stopped a bit. They're like, all right, let's wait for the ult, then I retry.
Yeah, you saw them. They were really respecting it, so...
Yep.
Well, that's one way to do it. And now with the concealed play, puts up the light down bottom lane. Still looking for that play. Earth and Rampart used up, and that's going to be the inhibitor turret going down. They're going to have to deal with the Lord, but here comes the fight.
Oh, Lantern Flare into the way of the Dragon, but Shizu just dealing the free hits, popping the immortalities. But there's the ranging Sandstorm coming in from James and the quick Sand Guard. They gain access to the members of AP Red one by one. Netsuki taking down Shizu. That's way less wave clear now for AP Bren, but they get to trade Ryzen and Super Yoshi in the process.
Oh no, here comes the minion wave. Can Aqua defend this alone?
Yeah, Netsuki's still alive though. They can still potentially try and go for this. There are two waves, down bot and up top, and one in mid as well. They also have the Lord JM, but the Land Shaker will actually connect. James flicker out just to survive. How to try to look for a target, but Netsuki gets shut down!
Lord JM fighting it, forcing it out. My goodness, call Lord JM the king of pop because he popped Netsuki.
Oh man, he found that angle, the only angle that could have gotten both targets that he needed to defend that base. And the best part, the cherry on top, is they still have that inhibitor turret in the mid lane. Yes, it's clinging to a single thread, but it's still working. You know, it's like your old microwave, 10 years already in your house, it's still working.
What is with microwaves today at Homie?
That's my side quest.
But I don't know if this Winter Crown was already there earlier, or was it a bit too late? But yeah, James, I think he was able to recall either way, but still, there were less members to help Netsuki in that moment. And I feel like they just really wanted to force an attempt to end it there. And you would have thought that they could have with 3 waves coming in all at once. But surprisingly enough, Aqua and Lord JM were all able to deal with it.
And look at the Lord advantage. Negative. Oh no, but at least they did get a lot of turret damage, and that would give Omega a big, no, not even big, a huge advantage for the upcoming Lord.
Yeah, but it depends on how well Omega are going to be playing around their own minion waves. Because now AP Bren, we're at the point where it doesn't matter the gold.
Oh no.
They're ready to fight. They're ready to go. They have the damage at Omega. If they're not careful, one massive tech charge by X-Nova, a mistimed entry, making sure that leading, to Lord JM being able to turn things around with a massive Land Shaker, those are the things they're going to be watching out for. Because now, on the other side, you have 3 dudes who provide so much space for a Kimmy and a Moskov. Which, yes, AP Brand lost in their rotations, but they are good with the counter engages for team fights.
Yeah, and now with the waves already pushed up, AP Bren they do have the angle here. They're able to contest for a bit, and they could even send the Moskov down bottom lane just because of the presence of the SOD. Now Omega gonna hide around the beard, and they're gonna be able to reset this Lord, playing around that vision, knowing that they have the advantage on the side lanes.
Yeah, I was supposed to say James has been holding that beard for a very long time now, and Haji's just as reliable and always checking out these rushes. So AP Brent couldn't really push forward. They could barely take control of some of these pushes for themselves because it's Omega who's in full control and who has full information.
Yeah, AP Brent is straight up losing this Lord Dance right now because Omega is holding the positions perfectly.
Okay.
That was scary.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna commit, but even Haji held on to the Purify.
Okay, partly AP Brent are buying time because they know the Lord is actually hurting Ryzen in the long run.
But I think we've seen this yesterday. Does Ryzen have the Guardian helmet though? That is gonna be one of the biggest factors.
Yes, he does.
Okay, so
he does.
He's gonna be okay with this probably.
Yeah, he's gonna be okay. They're gonna reset the Lord, and this is gonna be a long Lord Dance for AP Bren. Omega knows they have the advantage here, and they're gonna play around that advantage as much as they can with the Sky Guardian helmet as well on Ryzen. And they just can't. I feel like X-Nova has so much pressure on him right now. He needs to find a play.
Oh, now they force the Crimson Beacon out of Haji. That's gonna be big. X-Nova, the target right now, but they still do not commit any more of their ultimates.
James?
The Lord is very low right now, though. Ryzen still around the area. Oh, the flicker from X-Nova already down. The land shaker from Lord JM and the SOD. Shizu decides to go in, forces out the Wind of Nature from Netsky, but the Appraiser's Wrath, it lands on multiple members. That's the Winter Crown, also forced out of James Paxton. James from behind, waiting for the right opportunity. Lands the Raging Sandstorm onto 4, and now they disengage, but without, or they won't, without a kill, and that's James Pax that they find.
The ultimate fighter for a reason. We saw Super Yoshi showing off with the Khalid yesterday. What about James today? He waited, and the thing is, AP Bren knew that was gonna happen because Aqua spent majority of that fight just trying to keep James at bay. They knew he was holding that bush, but they did not know that James held on to his ultimate the entire time.
Wow, a 4-man Raging Sandstorm to secure that Lord as well for Omega, and now a massive base defense again for AP Bren. The turret in the mid lane is non-existent. That's gonna be one hit away from falling down, and there you go. It's just the base. It's just 4 dudes about to fight for their life.
Crimson Beacon in, knockups from the Jeet Kunto and the Wailer Dragon. There goes the tech charge coming in from X-Nova, popping the immortality from Netsky, and Shizu dealing the damage. They actually force Smart Omega to pull right away. SOD will not connect. That could have been a very close call.
Oh, they still got to defend. Shizu will give you that. You still got to defend.
Yeah.
But if that hit, this game is over.
Man, if that hit... Oh man!
Oh my goodness.
That's like Kawhi Leonard missing the game-winning shot. But looks like they're gonna be able to defend. You know, that's the best part. We still have a game, 15-10. It's 21 minutes. Our current longest game in the league right now is 26-30.
Really?
Yes, 26-30.
Okay.
And this is just game 1, and we're gonna watch that replay. And you could hear the pain in our voices the moment that SOD passed through 3 people. This was such a great defense, though, for AP Bren.
Yeah, X-Nova turned things around. That tech charge saved the scenario because Netsky was caught in their bang. What a way to read the situation. And that led to this.
Yeah, and they're turning it around. Ryzen goes down, out for 1 minute. And AP Bren looks like they're going to go for the mid lane push, but somebody has to go home.
Yeah.
Somebody has to keep the house clean.
I missed this. AP Brent fans now talking a bit of trash towards the Omega fans who were doing the same earlier.
You can see them.
This.
Look at them right now. I mean, nothing's over just yet, but you could see how close of a fight this has become. Only 300 gold lead existing. That probably doesn't even matter at this point, but Smart Omega, just the same. They are still capable of making or chasing AP Bren, so they can't put themselves out there too much.
And they still have a 3 inhibitor advantage.
Yeah, AP Bren, the fact that they have such a massive deficit in terms of map control is what's holding them back right now, which is why we're seeing them try to win mainly through defenses or turning things around in an objective team fight, or after a successful defense, go out of base, chase down, and see what control you can get at the map either through pushes or holding key objectives, key spots. So as you look at the items, look at the two queen swings on not only for the Lapu-Lapu but for the Baksha as well. James Banks had the Winter Crown, which helped save him. The Twilight Armor is also help keeping him alive for a long time.
I hope they're gonna burst this. James, they don't know he's in the... Actually, they know! Lord JM checks it out with a Braves fighter, but Super Yoshi, he has the flicker. He's looking for the play.
Okay, Haji has a purple buff. Super Yoshi, will he find anyone though? He doesn't, and instead it's X-Nova who finds the targets. James trying to distract some of the members from behind, and Haji actually finds James back. That's not going to be good for AP Bread. Now the immortality is popped, but then Shizo still fighting back. There goes the knockbacks, and the SOD finally lands. He picks up the kill on Ryzen, making it 2 members down for Smart Omega.
Oh, but they gotta defend. There's 2 waves going inside their base, and looks like they're gonna go for the Lord. No retribution here for AP Bren. No retribution for Omega, and it's gonna be a big reset before the next big team fight.
They have to take care of the minion waves first. With everything crashing in, Omega now have another key victory condition to split push it. With everything that happens with the team fights, Netsuki can just leave it, and then with a minion wave that's left behind by AP Bren, end the game single-handedly. Because now Omega have acknowledged the situation. X-Nova in team fights, the wall that he can bring up is too much of a problem to deal with. Lord JM's entries as well as the Landshakers have been on point that have made this team fights very back and forth. So you see, they're even now sending the Juice in up top to clear minion waves because that allows Netsuki to hold the shrub in the mid to potentially find a backdoor angle.
And let's see if the SOD lands this time around. Looks like they're gonna burst down the Lord here. Still no retribution for the side of Omega. It looks like Omega, they're gonna go for the contest, but the Lord, it's gonna be secured by James Banks.
And Super Yoshi loses his immortality. Dies as well, but James, Netsuki, Haji, every single member left of Smart Omega are trying to fight back. The Rampart actually blocks their way. Netsuki falls in the hands of Aqua, and now Smart Omega, they're the ones running away.
Oh no, they're scrambling. The Lord isn't up just yet. They're going to be able to clear out their minion waves, but that's going to be a full minute without Netsuki on Omega.
X-Nova, bro, I've never seen a more impactful wall in so long. Not to set up for an ultimate, but to literally just separate the team fight, cause a massive obstacle for Omega to deal with, and now AP Bren at the cusp of victory, turning this game around.
And let's see if they're going to be able to defend. What a flicker play!
They commit everything just to pop the immortality and potentially take down Ryzen as well. James from behind once again using that Raging Sandstorm, but he has to use the quick sand guard because he has to regain some of his HP back, but there's not much that they can do anymore because Shizu has his eyes set on the base. But before that, he gets a shutdown kill and eventually take game number 1.
A 25-minute victory for AP Bren. Goes 1-0, and you can see the fans go wild in MPL Arena. I love this, man. It's like they won the series already.
1-0, almost 25 minutes. Where else would you rather be than with Saturday Night Filipino MLBB, baby?
Woo! Okay.
You know, it's so fun. That was nuts. That was so fun to see fans like this. It's literally just 1-0, bro. And they're already saying night-night and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you game 2.
See you game 2. Well, jokes aside, that was a spectacular watch for our first game of the day. By the way, that's just our first game of the day. A 25-minute victory from AP Bren. For the most part, it was Omega controlling this game, but AP Bren with a massive comeback. I'm not quite sure who deserves the MVP, but my vote is on X-Nova. How about you guys?
I'm an X-Nova guy here. But Aqua's good too.
Aqua's great too. You know, Aqua's great too in this one. The Kimmy was dealing a lot of damage, and I think there were crucial traction pulses as well around those Lord pits. I feel like mostly on the Zushin.
Yeah, and they could barely get to Aqua. He's 9-2-6. That's only 2 deaths. We saw how many fights in this game, how many back and forth Lord dances, and Aqua only died twice. That is impressive. And because of everything that the front line of AP Bren were doing for this Kimmy, Aqua needed to show up. Aqua needed to tell AP Bren, guys, count on me. I'm one of the secondary carries. That's why you pick Kimmy early on, because you want him as a second conditional win choice for your team. And Aqua delivered.
Yeah. I feel like even more than being the secondary carry, quote unquote, during those late game team fights, he tends to be the one who starts things off. Even just through the traction pulse, because we saw it time and time again, it was always targeted towards Haji. And once you just get to force, be it either the flicker or it's not the flicker actually, say Purify on Haji or even just the Crimson Beacon, that could already mean something huge for AP Bren, and that could encourage Xnova to go in, be more decisive in terms of the counter engages. And during these few times we saw Xnova not going for the counter engage and instead the engage himself, they were very decisive, calculated ones.
Yeah.
And AP Bren, it's commendable how much they held on to this point where they knew they could already count on Shizu.
You know, this game is a perfect blend of clean and scrappy. I'm not quite sure how to explain this, but it feels like OG old MLBB, but also with a touch of modern flair. So I just love how the timings were perfect, the rotations were modern, but the way the fights were being played out, it was scrappy as hell.
Yeah, there was a reason why earlier when we were showing the lineups and talking about the teams that I said my eyes are going to be on Xnova, what pick he ends up with, because again, this is the meta wherein it's so demanding for roamers now. Not just in terms of the big rotations, which yes, Omega did 100% better, but then how well are you going to be able to fight? Barrier, look at that ramp up, bro. Bro, he literally said, let me set up a castle again and then bring it back down and say, all right, we're going to go for round 2. And then Shizu finally hitting. Bro, I am going to make a video out of this.
I even feel like the times where AP Brent decided not to push forward weren't signs of hesitation, but it was more of because they were already so much familiar with how the sequence usually went for Smart Omega. They knew that they had to wait for James to suddenly appear from behind, and they had to make the decision based on whoever they're able to see from Smart Omega's lineup. And so I'm surprised because I was very vocal about Smart Omega being the more disciplined team heading into this match, but then AP Bren too themselves after a week or so.
You know, this game just brought out the best of these players. I feel like, especially for the XP laners, James and Lord JM were usually, we just know that the XP lane right now is kind of 50-50, I would say. But this game, it felt as if both XP laners reached a zone where they usually just, I don't know, do the right play at the right time. James had a 4-man Raging Sandstorm to block the entry or exit of AP Bren. Then Lord JM found the primary targets more than 3 times in 4 big team fights.
Yeah, you said XP laners in this meta today are 50-50. Lord JM is Mr. 50-50.
It's the proper side of the coin today.
The proper side of the coin. It's his meta now. No, but yeah, James was fantastic. And again, we talked about the Khalid and Cho together having being together in one team with a Fredrin in the jungle means that 100% they will most likely